Do you prefer the UK or Germany?
Almost makes me emotional.
Do you think humanity is doomed? Oh, I know what I would probably do is, huh? Oh,
What?
yeah. Yes. Maybe you just need to think one thing. I can see your questions.
Wir sind hier nicht in der Schule, da wird nicht abgeschrieben.
Sag ich ja nicht.
Welcome back to Tea and Bratwurst.
Hello.
So, I think this is going to be very interesting.
Maybe.
But first of
Maybe
all,
very embarrassing.
or that, first of all, what Bratwurst are you today?
Today I've decided I will be a so-called Käsekreiner, which is a bratwurst I once had when I was visiting Vienna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And it was very delicious.
So, a sausage
Yeah.
that has cheese in it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And what kind of tea are you today?
Yeah, I'm terribly boring. I had Assam tea all week, switched back to Earl Grey. So, there you go.
Okay.
Today, we decided to ask each other unexpected questions. You have no idea what I'm going to ask you, and I have no clue whatsoever.
Yeah.
Shall we start?
Do
Okay.
start with a simple one.
A simple one. Okay, I think this is simple. Is there something you would still like to learn?
Oh yes, a lot.
Yeah, I'm listening.
I would still like to learn how to fly a plane. I would still like to learn more about computers. About how to use, for example, artificial intelligence programs better, to get more knowledge out of them and to make them function better. I would like to, maybe learn something more about engineering and electricity, a lot of things. Yeah.
And what about
Philosophy.
and history?
Yes.
Well, because you are so you've always been telling me for decades that years ago your dream was to go back to university and study history.
Yes, that's the thing. If I would have the money and the freedom, I would do that. Or maybe a more challenging topic, engineering.
Yeah.
Because then
At uni.
Yes, at university. Because then I might be able to invent something which would help humanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about, you said fly a plane. What kind of plane?
Yes, just a plane.
Yeah, but
I want.
I remember when you told me a while ago, Segelflugzeug.
Yeah, a glider.
A glider.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think that must be so wonderful to do. Sit in a glider, only with wind next to you, and seeing everything from far above.
Would you really have the courage? Because I would.
Oh yes.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you would gradually get.
Of
there.
course.
So.
I think I would panic, but.
Yeah. Now, my question is just a warm-up question for yourself, which is very easy, which is a simple question. What is your favorite movie character?
I don't know.
Even think about it.
Oh my God. I can't. Well, the first thing, maybe. No, she's not. But. Okay, I just come up with something, but she's probably not my favourite film character.
And what's your favorite movie?
I
Maybe
don't
start
know.
with that.
I don't know. My favourite film during Christmas is The Holiday.
Yeah.
And what I love about, what's the character? Kate Winslet. What's the name in the film? Because the other character is Amanda Woods.
Yeah.
Well, you know who I mean.
Yeah.
So the Kate Winslet Kate Winslet plays the other character. I can't think of the name. And what I like about her, first of all, I like her cottage.
Yeah.
I like the fact that she's courageous and goes to Hollywood to do this house swap. I absolutely don't like that she's falling for that terrible guy at first.
Yeah.
But then she gets to know the other guy, and she's becoming friends with this older guy who was into films.
Yeah.
And I like how she helped him and everything. But this is so superficial. It's not my favorite character, and I can't think of it. I can't think of one. So I'm sorry. Okay. Hang on. Do you prefer the UK or Germany?
Oh, that's a question where it's like a catch-22 question. You know that, yeah? Whatever you do, it's wrong. Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Let me hear it.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to say, it can't be wrong.
As I said, it's a catch-22 question, yeah. And really, now I'm not a politician, so because if I was a politician, I would find an answer. I would say, let me think about.
No,
yeah?
honestly, just
Germany might be the country of the poets, and it might be the country where a lot of things are invented. But the UK is a country of culture, is a country which has, in certain times, shaped the world, has a large tradition, and inspires us very much.
I want to have your answer. Your answer.
I think I still prefer Germany because it's my home country. That's where I come from.
You know what?
Yeah. Although I love living here.
I completely agree, because I'm the same.
Yeah.
100% the same. I think if I could, can I say this?
Yeah.
Although you had the question.
Yeah.
I would, if I had the opportunity, because sometimes this country, the UK, gets on my nerves.
Yeah.
Sometimes Germany gets on my nerves.
Yeah.
And if I had two houses, one country gets on my nerves, I just go to the other country for a couple of weeks
exactly.
until I'm sick of that.
Yeah. On a scale, I would have to say it's like 51 to 49, and very narrow. Yeah. Let me think.
I'm scared.
A very easy color. A very easy question.
Okay.
Blue or red? Do you have a favorite color?
Yeah, I like to combine both. I mean, in our house, you can see that you know what, I think I would say blue, because when we decided on the kitchen, which is blue, but a darker blue, do you remember how much I struggled because I wanted to go for the brighter?
Until I said, it's blue.
Yeah, but the other one is blue as well. It's Trinity blue, so much brighter. And then I said to you, we can't have the entire house blue.
Yeah.
I love blue.
Good.
But I love red as well. But I think I probably prefer blue.
Good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What do you think people misunderstand about the two of us?
Oh, I think the most is that they think we never argue, we're never mad at each other sometimes, yeah? And I think that's not the truth. We disagree on a lot of things sometimes. No, not some. We disagree.
Yeah, because I wouldn't say a lot, because we have the same common ground.
Yes, we've got that kind of, I'll call it thread through our life. We have this common goal and common value. We share the same values. But also, it's not always, ID. It's sometimes we argue, and sometimes there are things when I say, you get on my nerves now.
And the other way around.
Yes. So I think that's the biggest misunderstanding people have about us. They think we're always nice and always, thoughtful and everything. That's not the truth. Sometimes we can be,
I think
can disagree and can argue.
It depends so much on your day as well, doesn't it?
Yes.
And I don't know, if you're having stress or
Yeah.
something else.
No. Which invention would you like to have made?
Star Trek, how do you say? Beaming.
Which invention would you have liked to make? I mean,
What I want
what
to...
are already existing thing, not a,
okay.
not out of a movie. The thing which is an existing invention. What would you like to have made? Where you think, oh, I should have done that.
This is terrible. You're so unfair because I don't know. I don't know anything. Does it need to be an object or can it also be something political?
Can be what you want.
Okay. I would have loved to have been the suffragette, like the leader of the suffragette movement.
Yeah. You would have invented that.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Probably many things come to mind, but something that has like an impact, not necessarily an object or something, but a political impact maybe.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Okay. It's, yeah, gets you off the hook.
Okay. What is the one thing you could never compromise on?
One thing I could never compromise on. Oh,
I know it's difficult.
it's really difficult. Huh? But I think the one thing I could never compromise on is that I want every person and every people to be treated equal. And I think because that's to me very important. That's the thing I would never. So to me, like I think everybody should be treated in the same way.
Yeah.
And should have, you call it equal opportunities. And I think that's the thing where I think, and me treating people like that, that's the thing I would never compromise on. So I think I want to treat everybody in the same way, be kind to everybody, give everybody, let's say, kind of, yeah.
Basically the benefit of the doubt, probably.
Exactly, the benefit of a doubt. So that's where I think I would never compromise on. And could. And also, yeah. Because it's to me important.
I like that. It's good.
Yeah. Good. Something light-hearted now. Oh yeah.
Don't even know if I have enough questions.
Oh yeah, I've got one here. Why did you never become an astronaut?
Oh gosh, because that, I don't even know how to explain that in English, but I know what you need to be. I mean, I have stamina.
Yeah.
Like I can walk and run and everything, but the one thing I can't, like when they do all the tests and they have to, how do you call this?
Spinning around.
I get dizzy. I could not do it. Although I must say, maybe this question will come up. If I had one wish, maybe we come back to other questions before. If I had one wish before I leave this planet, I would love to see planet Earth from space.
Okay,
Just once. You could do that without being an astronaut.
Yes, you can.
That
But
would
why
be,
did you never become one?
Well, I mean, I told you that would be awful. Like spinning, I would pass out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have another. I don't know if that's related to the question I asked you before, but still, would you rather live in Britain for the rest of your life and only visit Germany, or the other way around?
I don't know, but I think at the moment, I think, yes, I would.
Yes, what?
Yeah, I mean, at the moment I see ourselves living in Britain, and just visiting Germany to visit family or friends or something. At the moment I can't think of us going back to Germany and living in Germany. But I don't know why. It's just a feeling, because I feel happy here.
But could you see yourself living in Germany again? Or do you think it wouldn't be possible for us anymore? I don't know.
No, I think we could, but it would be, for us, it would be a big change. A really big change, because we're now used to so many things. And yeah, I'm happy here. That's why I can't imagine, at the moment, I can't imagine going back.
I don't know about you, but whenever I'm in Germany, I love it so much and think, oh, why don't I live there? But this is just 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And if we were to move there on a permanent basis, so going back, I don't know how I would feel, because you got used to the way of things here.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, it's like the saying, there's a German saying, the apples in the neighbor's garden are always the better ones.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. When you're here, you think, and you're mad about things, you think, we should go back to Germany because that's better.
Yeah.
If you're back in Germany and you see, and things drive you crazy there, you think, we should go back to the UK because life's much easier and nicer there.
That's why I said we need 2 houses and endless money, so that we could just travel back and forth when one country gets on our nerves.
Yeah. Maybe do that. Yeah. Okay, that's a good question. No, I've got a good question. What is your most happy childhood memory?
You know why this always confuses me? Because I don't know, sometimes when I watch interviews or something and they ask people, what's your first childhood memory?
Yeah.
And people talk about when I was 2 years old and stuff like that. I don't even know how far I can go back.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But okay, what's one thing where you think as a child where you was very happy and you always think of,
I just always felt happy at home with my parents, and almost makes me emotional. I felt safe at home.
Yeah.
Gosh. Sorry. I always felt safe, and when something was wrong, because, for example, I had a lot of tummy aches when I was a small girl, and I could always crawl into bed with my parents, or my mom came to my bed, and just made me feel safe and comfortable.
Yeah.
So
I see. That's
I don't know if
that's a happy childhood memory.
Yeah. But if you were to ask, like, your happiest,
No.
I didn't expect this to happen. It made me happy and sad at the same time.
Yeah.
So, okay. What puts you in a really good mood?
What puts me in a really good mood?
You want to win time. You always repeat the question.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, there are a lot of things which put me.
Well, just start with one.
When you come up to me, look at me like you do now, and smile, and have this kind of wonderful eyes. That
Really?
puts me into a happy mood.
That's something very simple.
Yeah. And when I just think of that, I really feel good. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad that I asked you this question, because I was so teary before, so that even puts me in a good mood.
Yeah, see? Good. Yeah. Okay, let me think. That's a good question.
Okay.
Superpower.
Oh, gosh.
Would you like to have one? And then which one?
If I had one superpower, I would try to make sure that no one suffers on this planet. Be it like, poverty, hunger. I would love to erase all of this.
But it's not a superpower.
It is.
Superpower is you can fly or you can be very strong. Yeah? Okay, yeah, you would use your superpower
I would use
to do
this.
that. But what's your superpower?
I'm not Superman.
Now, what if you would have a superpower? What would you like to? Would it be
Well, be like then I
Super
would go
smart?
back. No, then I would go back to beaming, like in Star Trek. I
Okay.
would, if I need to be somewhere at once, I would beam myself there, and help people
good?
if they need me.
Okay.
But I don't need to wear a silly costume for that.
No. I don't think so. Oh, we could find one
Yeah.
and create one.
Yeah. This is difficult for me. I can definitely tell I would never be a politician because I'm bad.
They get trained. They get trained to answer questions without answering them.
Because when you say, what would be or what superpower would you like? Well, flying through walls or something. I can't think. I can't think straight.
Yes, but look, a politician would say,
No.
No?
Let me ask you the next
okay,
question.
then I'll give you a politician. I'll give you an answer like a politician.
No.
Like a true politician.
So, I asked you before, what puts you in a really good mood?
Yeah.
I have the next question would be, is there one thing that can instantly ruin your mood? Please, no political answer. Just a yerk answer. Please.
What could instantly ruin my mood?
See, he's always repeating the question because he wants to win time.
Yeah.
That is a political thing.
I think yes.
Yeah.
When I see that people do stupid things, and realize,
Do you have an example?
like at work, when I see that somebody let's say has done something without thinking and that has costed us money, for example.
Yeah.
Or what could instantly ruin my if I see that people have acted careless and made damage, or or when we like when we do a walk and I would see somebody throwing something away, that would ruin my day immediately.
Same.
Things like that.
Exactly.
But I don't think there are many things which would instantly ruin my day.
Yeah.
No?
This is fun, but also, I don't know,
Yeah.
a bit stressful. Okay.
Okay, let me think.
No. Please.
Yeah. Ah, yes. Is there one thing you are very proud of?
I think that I always try to keep an open mind, and I always want to learn. So no matter how old I am, and I think I can be proud of that I always try to get out of my comfort zone. I don't know.
You're very much a politician.
Really?
Yes. I've asked you, is there one thing you are very proud of, and you go to a virtue, kind of thing. One thing is proud of, I've won $1 million, and I've earned a lot of money. I have a big house. I did a degree in computer science. You're very clever, man. You know that?
No.
Yeah.
I'm proud of being an open-minded person,
Good.
I think.
Yeah.
And I hope I will always stay that way.
Okay. Good.
What do you think is something you inherited from your parents?
My good looks.
No.
No,
Seriously?
what I think I inherited from my parents.
You always repeat the question.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I think what I inherited from my parents is a very good sense of justice and injustice. I think that's where because one thing I think my dad always hated was injustice.
I expected another
I think
answer as well.
that's what I've maybe inherited,
What do you-
and maybe a bit of kind of, in some ways, a certain stubbornness.
Do you would you like to know what I think?
What?
I think you are, because you are a very hard worker, and your parents, what they I don't know, gave to you as it can be a virtue and it can be a tough thing, is that you can't you things don't come for free to you. You have to work for them. And I think they gave that to you.
Yeah, okay, that's true. Yeah,
This
they
is
gave
what
me
I
that
would
kind
say.
of work ethic.
Yeah.
Because I was brought up in a way that it was like work comes first. Yeah. So you sacrifice certain things.
Yeah.
If it's because of work and because of the duties you have.
And usually you don't blame others, like, for example, when you were at school and maybe had a bad grade, your parents, my parents were the same. It's just the teacher that is to blame.
No, but
you usually blame yourself.
No, it's just
first.
that. Work hard. The first question, if something goes wrong, what did you do?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Was it you that made it happen? And don't blame others.
Yeah.
Things go wrong. First look at yourself and then look at others. Oh,
I don't know it anyway.
I've got a very good question here. Very good for a politician. For a politician.
Which I'm not.
Yeah. Do you think humanity is doomed?
Yes.
Good.
Because we managed to destroy everything. We're not willing to change things that need changing and which takes a lot of devotion and sacrifice. Yes, we are doomed. We are doomed.
You think?
We are.
So you don't give humanity any chance?
I don't think so, because at the end of the day, it's greed and money, and that will destroy us.
Okay.
It is.
Accepted.
I think. Something light-hearted.
Yeah.
If you had to imitate me for 1 minute, what would you do first?
Oh gosh.
Ah, what a relief! Well, at least I'm not the only one that's not spontaneous.
No, I think if I... Oh, I know what I would probably do is... I would just wait until you leave a room and then immediately call, yuck! Yeah. Or,
What?
Yes, because sometimes I've just left the room and wanted to go upstairs and then you call me back. Yuck! Yuck! Could you fetch me this, please? Or
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, you're very good at passing that moment when I'm up and
Just left the room
and then you call me back.
Really?
Well, I sometimes think, oh gosh.
I'm glad we talked about it.
Yeah.
How long have we been together?
Oh, yeah, and that will never change. I can live with that. It's not bad, but I would do that.
okay.
imitate you.
Then call in my voice.
No, I can't. It's impossible.
Okay. Do you have one more question
Yes, I
for
do.
me?
Yes, I do. What would you like to change about yourself?
I think there are two things. I would like to be more patient, and because I think it would help me to relax more and not try to behave in a way or I don't know, how do I describe this? I always want that everyone likes me, although I know that is impossible.
It is impossible.
It is absolutely impossible, but I would still like it, and it stresses me out. So
Yeah.
I just need to be more relaxed and more patient.
Yeah. Maybe you just need to think one thing. As long as you like yourself,
That's true.
it's not important if other people like you, because
That is so true.
because people, there's so many people in the world and so many different views that you can't please all of them. It's impossible to do. Yeah.
It's so true.
So, and to me, the only person you're really liable is yourself. Yeah. And if you're happy with yourself, yeah, I think then you can make other people happy too.
No, that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. Should I end? My last question.
One more question. I like this game.
Is there a place or country you really want to visit?
There are a lot of places I probably want.
Is there one place or one country? But you are the same as me. What would you like to change about yourself? There are two things.
Yes. No, I mean, I always say I like to visit countries like Japan, China, because or let's say Far East,
Yes.
Eastern countries, because I personally don't know so little about them, and I think, but I mean,
And you know a lot because you
and they're big countries. They have influence, and I think they've got a rich culture, and I would sometimes like to see that, just to see a different world, because Japan, for example, I think it is different.
We are. I always
or
feel
China.
that we think we are the only people, and our way is the way, but it's just such a tiny way.
Yes.
There's so much more.
I mean, as I said to you yesterday in the car, if aliens would land on Earth,
Yeah.
the probability of them meeting a Chinese person or an Indian person is probably far greater than meeting us.
Yes.
Because if they would land in China, they're Chinese, and it's a big part of Earth is China, India, Far East.
I honestly hope we can make it happen to go to Japan maybe next year or the year after.
I think the year after.
Okay, one more question for me.
Yeah.
Make it easy.
One thing every child should be taught.
Not to throw litter in the countryside. So I have to, because I'm a politician.
Yeah.
And to be, what's the word? Respect everyone, no matter where he or she comes from, no matter which country. Respect and don't litter the planet.
Okay. Those are two things.
I said so.
Yeah.
It's bad.
But both are equally important.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? But it's actually fun, isn't it?
Yes, because it makes you think about things.
Can I, so today I thought about a word that we wanted to teach our audience that
Yeah, a German word we wanted to show you.
So I told you this morning, Zahnpasta.
Yeah, toothpaste.
I thought, well, it's something you need.
Yeah.
And it's so different. Toothpaste.
Yeah.
Pasta. Okay, pasta, Italian pasta.
Yeah. Yeah.
Zahnpasta. Zahnpasta.
Nein, in German do you say
Zahnpasta.
do we call it? Is it not Zahnpasta?
Pasta. Zahnpasta.
Yeah, we say Zahnpasta, but is it?
No.
If you write it, is it?
No. Zahnpasta.
I always believe it's Zahnpaste.
No.
It's with an E.
No. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you get all confused. Zahnpasta.
Yeah, we say Zahnpasta, but the reality is
No.
it's written like Zahnpaste.
No.
I'll look it up. So please look it up.
No, it's right.
Yeah?
It's right. Zahnpasta.
I would think it's Zahnpaste.
No. He gets all confused. I don't know why. He probably needs a coffee or something to eat.
Yeah.
We hope you like this. I really enjoyed it, but found it difficult.
Yeah, it brought the politician out of you.
Thank you so much for listening. If you have any tips, what podcast you would like to see or hear,
Tell us.
tell us. So, until next time, thank you so much for listening. Tschüss.
Tschüss. Bye.
Tschüss.